Spartan Dog defense is basically just a bond of brothers, who we want to be effective. We want to be vicious. We want to be nasty. Basically what we are, rowdy players, like a bunch of dogs out there hunting.
When you put us on film, we want you to be like, them guys can play football, them guys flying around. That's how you're supposed to play defense.
It's being relentless, it's being tough, it's being disciplined, it's trusting your teammates. It's playing smart.
It stands in the pocket and eventually goes down!
When we hit you, like, oh, he got me. Whoa, that guy, he's coming. They're coming. These guys are gonna run to the ball. These guys are gonna hit you hard, and they're not gonna stop.
Sometimes you can scheme all you want and do all this stuff, but then at the end of the day, you gotta go and you gotta hit something.
By the time you're in this game, you'll feel like, oh, okay, that hurt a little bit. I need to go get some treatment because these guys were the truth. They were real.
That they are. Secondary coach Harlon Barnett, a big part of the Spartans' defensive success, knows a thing or two about good D. First-team All-American back in the late 80s while playing at MSU. Was a member of the last Spartans team to play in the Rose Bowl, joining Howard in this week's film session.
All season long, the college football world has been talking about this stingy Spartan defense. Players like defensive end Shalik Calhoun, middle linebacker Max Bulla have gained the lion's share of the attention. But as I studied the tape, I quickly realized that I needed to make a trip to East Lansing and sit down with secondary coach Harlon Barnett, who in my mind is the leader of the unsung heroes of the MSU defense, the defensive backs.
We look at our defense at times as a 9-man front, counting both safeties and stopping the run. And saying that, our corners are pretty much out on islands and have to play with great technique, pressed up man technique throughout the entire game. And they've had great years, and generally when our corners have great years, our defense is having a great year.
Harlon, in your defense, or the defense here at Michigan State, the corners, you define them by boundary corner and field corner. Can you tell us a little bit of the differences between the two and how the techniques may change?
Absolutely. The field corner is more of a cover guy type guy.
Okay.
I don't like the term cover corner. We like complete corner. Okay. But he's going to probably be in more situations where he's in coverage as opposed to coverage and run support. The boundary corner is just the opposite. He's going to be in coverage situations and run support situation. In this game against Michigan, late in the game, we're down in the red zone area, 20-yard line and in, and Darquez is playing press technique. The boundary corner, where Darquez is right now, he's a guy that's probably going to see a few more balls, and that's just generally in football speaking. Okay. Most teams like to throw the balls into the boundary, short side of the field. What we try to teach our guys is make the guys run around the T. And when I say the T, as you see Darquez stand up here in front of the receiver here, imagine him standing straight up and down and sticking his arms out to either side and getting his full wingspan. He wants to make that wide receiver run around that wingspan. Okay. And reroute himself. And both guys make the guys run around the T. They force wide releases. So you see right here, Gallon is looking early for the ball. So we look back through him in the red zone for the ball. When he looks, we look. And that's what Quez does. He always plays with great technique, great attention to detail, and we get an interception on this play.
You know what I said when I saw this play, and people thought I was nuts. I said, he's playing bump and run with his feet. Yes. He never, ever has to put his hands up because his feet are so good, he's so quick and technically sound, that to me, that's what came to my mind. Absolutely. Bump and run with your feet.
You got to have great feet to be a press corner.
I notice as I'm watching, normally you'll see people looking in the eyes, looking at the head, but you can tell just by looking at this where his face mask is positioned that he's down around the hip area is what he's watching.
Absolutely. We focus on that quite a bit. We play a lot of man coverage, obviously, like we talk about, press coverage, and you have to be focused on the hip area of the receiver. Otherwise, the head and shoulders and the feet will fake you out every time.
Take me inside to the two safeties, because you mentioned that earlier, the luxury of having two guys that can play the defense and the style of defense you want, what that allows the safeties to be able to do.
Well, it allows the safeties to be flat foot. In this case, Curtis Drummond, 27, is key in their number 2. And R.J. Williamson, in this case, is key in their number 3. And so R.J. does not get a vertical. He gets a bubble out of his guy. So now he can go back to quarterback's eyes and read where he's looking to throw the ball. Curtis does get a vertical out of his man, so he's going to cover him.
What is that, the Spartan Dogs?
That's them all the way. That's them.
I know you one of the original Spartan Dogs, but what do we got going down with these youngsters?
heard about what a Spartan dog is through me and from me, and now they add their own little things to it. You know how it goes, which is great. I'm trying to figure it out myself. So there we go. I don't know that part right there, so that's how it goes.